In another video, we looked at how you could progress a sale. That sale was progressed using a very simple workflow. In this example, we're going to briefly look at how you handle a more complicated workflow and how that looks in indirectsales.com. I've got a particular lead here and it's ready for qualification. In the previous example, to qualify a lead, you needed to furnish the system with 3 pieces of information: the anticipated revenue from the deal, a time frame in which the deal would conclude, and whether that deal was going to be handled by an external team or an internal team. In this particular example, we're going to look at a more complicated workflow, which is actually based on the Scotsman methodology loosely. And before we actually get into the area where Scotsman takes over, we're going to look at a typical slightly more complex qualification process. This one is actually managed by an internal executive, and he's going to go through the qualification process now. So when we click on the qualify button, what you see here are the 3 mandatory fields that exist in all workflows, but we've got another 3 questions that need to be asked. So here we're going to have an expected close date. Save that information, and as I said in the preamble, it's going to be handled by a direct team. Now we're going to see 3 different questions that come in. Again, typical qualifications. First one is about contact details. Have we got a meaningful contact? Yeah, okay, we'll say we have in this case. What is the level of interest in our products? And here the system is offering me 4 different alternatives, and I need to work out which one is most appropriate for this particular customer. I will go for this one here. And finally, what would the buyer's role be in a purchase decision? So how useful is our contact? And we could say that this person actually is quite a high level one, it's an executive authority. So we're going to click on there. And now we've got a much richer set of information on which we can base our qualification process. I think Paul, looking at this, would say, yep, I'm happy with this, I don't need to do any more requalification, I've got sufficient information, so I can now click the complete button. This lead is qualified, and we can go ahead and we can promote it to a deal. And now we can actually move our business on a little bit further. The first thing I'm going to do is, because we've now moved into the deal stage, I'm going to make sure that it is assigned to Paul Archer in his sales role. And he can be part as an individual or part of a main team. He's going to do it as an individual. We've already got a commission rate agreed elsewhere, so I'm just going to click on assignment. Now Paul's in a position where he is, as a salesperson, he can go ahead and he can actually analyze the deal. And what we can see here is a whole lot of questions that are related to the Scotsman model. So the first one is about whether we meet their requirements. The second one is typical competitive position. Next one is, what is our proposition? Have we got any USPs? Timescales, what's this one? What's our information about when the deal is going to close? Can we meet their requirements? Save that one. What about the size of the opportunity? Is it too big for us to service, or is it too small for us not really to be interested? We'll go with this one. What about the pricing side? Who are the decision makers? Again, this is just reaffirming we know who the decision makers are. And what's the customer's need? And click on that. So having answered those questions, based on our progress through the deal, we can see that we have scored 71% so far. So out of 100%, that's looking quite good considering this is the phase of the deal we're at. There is no reason why, as the deal progresses, we can't go back and review these scores and improve our ratings. So we could come back and say, yep, okay, we can give a stronger answer for this one now. We've managed to influence the customer a little bit more, and if you notice down here, our score increases. This score is really handy for the management information. This score down here, by contrast, represents a total progress through the deal. That takes into account the qualification phase as well. But these two pieces of information let management know just how close we are on being able to close this deal. How are we progressing through the sales cycle? It's looking quite good so far. Thanks very much.